sport, really make a career out of it? We'll discuss that topic right after this.
Welcome to the Integrity Sports Podcast, covering local sports in the Southwest Georgia area, creating content that is factual, positive, and informative, promoting efforts by athletes, coaches, and sports administrators. Now, here's your host, Tim Estes.
Welcome to the Integrity Sports Podcast, powered by Harper's Tree and Stump Removal. If you have any tree or stump removal needs, Harper's Tree and Stump Removal has you covered. They can haul rock and sand, they can build ponds or repair pond dams, and now can even do horizontal grinding of large wood debris piles. Give Keith a call at 229-314-2048. or at 229-938-2412. Harper's Tree and Stump Removal is proud to be the premier sponsor of the Integrity Sports Podcast. I am excited today to have one of my best friends in Parks and Recreation, Dadrian Cosby, who is the athletic manager for the Bulloch County Recreation and Parks Department. D, glad to have you with me today.
Man, Tim, thank you for having me. Looking forward to it.
D, it seems like lately I've had several folks that have asked me, what path do you take to get into Parks and Recreation as a career? I'm not sure if you hear that very often or not, but I want to start today's interview with you off by kind of hearing your story and telling folks how you got into the Parks and Rec field from the point you got into it, and let's go all the way up to the point you're at now in your career.
Okay. All right, cool. No, thank you. Well, I didn't hear it a lot at first when you first got in, but now once you get that, I'm at that 25-year mark, 5 part-time, 20 being full-time, you're starting to get asked more like, D, how did you get into it? And I guess for me, my story is pretty much I started playing ball when I was 6 years old in Auburn, Alabama. And it was just something that I truly love to do. Just one, I like being outside. I hate being inside. Get me outside, playing sports, doing something, working up a sweat, just doing anything. And so playing ball was the first thing that I fell in love with was sports. And then as I started playing rec ball when I was younger there in Auburn, there at Felton Little Park, and then went over to Duck Sanford. And then we at 12, we moved to Madison, Wisconsin. And so we're playing ball in Madison, Wisconsin, and I got my first taste at a state championship in baseball in '93. And so that was just something that it was a whole year of just great ball we played and a team effort. And so then that moved down here to Coney County and just started playing ball down here. And I was just, when the ball playing career was over with, when I was here at Georgia Southern, I was like, man, I got to find something to do. And so we were sitting there in the apartment, me and my roommate, and on Northland Cable News is the Statesboro Bulloch County Recreation looking for volunteer coaches. And I was like, well, let me go out there and do it. And so I put in the application to coach and came and interviewed with this guy named Daryl Hopkins. Most people know him as Hop. And he hired me on to be a youth coach. We always make the joke. The first team I ever had was we weren't that good. Yeah. If there was if we had points for missed baskets, we would have gone undefeated. And so after that, I became I went from coaching to what we call a part-time field supervisor. And I was in Stilson, Georgia. Then I got to go to Brooklet, Georgia. And once I graduated from school, they asked would I mind staying around for a little bit for a possibility of something to come open. And the job came open. I interviewed and I got the job where I became an athletic or recreation supervisor. And so from there, I did that job for 18, 19 years, and where we supervised our facilities here in Bulloch County. We have Mill Creek, which is Statesboro. We have Neville's, Georgia, Portal, Georgia, Brooklet, Georgia, Stilson, Georgia. And so we have a huge community here in Bulloch County. And then we kind of had some little turnover with staff. And and I was able to get the division manager position with the position that I have here currently, to where I oversee all the youth and adult athletics for Bulloch County. And so that's to the point where I'm in now. I truly love it, what we do. We love being in the community. We have a fantastic support group here within the community. And so it's just a great situation we're in here in Bulloch County.
Well, indeed, you and I are probably considered veterans in the career at this point.
Yes,
And so we've kind of seen the full gamut. We used to have a lot of colleges throughout the state that offered some type of recreation degree, whether that was in the tourism or recreation administration or something like that. But now we've dwindled down to where Georgia Southern is the only college in the state that offers a recreation degree. And I know that you guys there in Bulloch County utilize the folks that are in that field. Can you tell me a little bit about the relationship that Bulloch County has with Georgia Southern?
Man, I'm telling you, that's one of the things that we here at Bulloch County Recreation Parks, we hang our hat on. We're very blessed to have Georgia Southern here in our backyard. I will say probably 75% of our workforce, our part-time staff, come from Georgia Southern, especially with the recreation. And we all know in recreation, it's not your traditional recreation anymore. You have your outdoor, you have your tourism, you have your hospitality. So we're able to kind of touch all of these kids in different avenues that they're looking for in their recreation. We have an after-school program here that is, I would say, is probably second to none. It's amazing what Joy Deal and her staff do here to provide that after-school service for the kids here in Bulloch County. And then we have Splash in the Barrel. But like for the kids here with those rec majors, we're able to actually, all of us in athletics, we go out there probably once a week and we're able to teach a class so they can get the real life, what they don't read in their textbooks. We're able just to talk to them, tell them what it's really like than what they're seeing in black and white pages. So we're truly blessed with Georgia Southern here. All the professors over there are fantastic. We do a lot of different things with those indirect guys, and even some of those guys with the trainers. We're able to get a lot of those guys who are coming through to maybe set foot out there at Mill Creek or one of our facilities just so they can get a couple of hours of just outside service.
Right.
So we're truly blessed with having Georgia Southern here in our backyard.
Well, Dee, we've got a lot of high school kids in the area that this show services here in Southwest Georgia. When you think about Sumter County, Sly County, Lee and Crisp County, all around here, we got a lot of folks that end up going to Georgia Southern. They make Georgia Southern their college of choice. I know one of our students from over in Sly County, Miranda Thompson, was one of your, or maybe still is one of your part-time employees. But if we have prospective students that are watching this show and they move to Statesboro, what do they do to get involved with your department there?
Man, we take pride in if you come through that door, we're going to sit down and talk with you. We want you to be part of recreation, even if it's not here in Bulloch County. If they have to go to Sumter County, if they want to go to Cobb County, if they want to go to Gainesville, if they want to go to Valdosta, Columbus, anywhere, we're able to connect with all these different people and come in and talk to us, especially from high school students. You know, if you're not sure, if you love sports, you're not sure which direction you want to go, we can help you, just sit down and talk. And Miranda's a great example. Especially most of these people who do go to school, a lot of them have played sports growing up.
Right.
If you have any connection with your local rec department, have those guys give us a call and say, hey, I got this kid coming down, just like Miranda did. Those are the people, if we get that call from another GRPA professional and we're going to put their name out there with that kid, that's a great reference, especially when you work closely with people and those that's the easiest way to get in the door, have that relationship with your local rec, and then you come over here and form a relationship with us, and we can get you going from being a lifeguard to scorekeeper, official, supervisor, anything after school program. We have a lot of different avenues that you can try when you come over here to the rec department.
So if you're watching today and you are going to Georgia Southern, you heard it right from the horse's mouth. Give me a call and let me know you're going, and I'll make that call to D, and maybe we can get you hooked up.
Come
Hey,
see
D.
us. Come see us.
Hey, D, as you know, this program has been blessed with several sponsors. One of our sponsors today is Marty McDonald State Farm Insurance. His office is located at 925 Martin Luther King Jr. Boulevard here in Americus. Drop by and see Marty or any of his fine staff. They'll be happy to discuss your insurance needs. And as always, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. So, D, we've talked about kids getting into the field. Once you're in the field as a professional in parks and recreation and you've kind of established yourself locally, one of the things you and I get to enjoy is a relationship through the Georgia Recreation and Park Association, being a part of GRPA. Talk a little bit about how GRPA is and what it's meant to you as a professional.
Well, for those who don't exactly know exactly what GRPA is, as you said, Tim, is Georgia Recreation Park Association. It's what we consider our governing body for the state of Georgia that handles all the rules and guidelines for any rec department or agency throughout the state. As you know, you and I both have been blessed to be on the state athletic committee, and now I've been blessed to be able to join the executive committee with GRPA, and to me, that's something that is a true blessing for me. I love recreation. I love what we do, and it gives me the opportunity to learn from you guys who have, I'm not quite the veteran as you guys are, but it gives me a chance to learn from you guys and take little nuggets from everybody and then put them with how I am, my personality, my characteristics, and do something positive for Bulloch County. If you're not a member of GRPA and you are in a recreation department, I'd urge you guys to join GRPA because it's life-changing. You make great friends, you make great networking for other possibilities, and it's just a great thing for me for GRPA. GRPA means the world to me. I truly love it. I love what I do.
Let's get a little personal here with that. You and I probably wouldn't know each other very well if it weren't for GRPA.
Correct.
And now, really on a weekly basis, we probably talk once or twice a week at least. And, when your mom was going through some health issues, I was one of those friends there for you. When my daughters have things going in their life, you've been there for me. And it's really more than a professional friendship. It's a true friendship, isn't it?
Correct. This is kind of like, both of us, we play team sports. And when you're on that team, it's a brotherhood. That's what I see a lot of people in GRPA. Those are my brothers and sisters. Yes, I have a sister and mother, and I got a little niece, Elise. That's my best friend, little 9-year-old. Yes, that's your family, but your work family, you do, especially on the local level, you spend more time with your work family than you do with your other family.
Right.
So you're able to form those relationships with different people, and especially, with all of us, we have at least 5 to 6, 7 possibly meetings every year where we're able to get together and you have those meetings, and then once we leave, we all typically make a phone call right after it. It's like you didn't want to leave you guys. You still want to keep talking about what you had going on and what we have going on for the rest of the week, and we help solve each other's issues. So yes, it is truly a family in GRPA.
So D, as we look toward the future and we project, let's say 5 to 10 years down the road, what do you see local governments are going to need in terms of new career professionals in this parks and rec industry?
Well, I think one of the things that we look at that we all try to do is we try to stay up on current trends. What are the current trends that are going on locally, statewide, and nationally? We actually had a discussion here today, and I can probably announce it now, is here at Mill Creek Regional Park. We're going to host the first ever in this region we have a collaboration with SCA, and we're going to do a Rising Juniors and Seniors softball showcase.
Wow.
We actually sent emails to 46 different women's softball college from D1, NAIA, and D2, and JUCO to invite them to come down to Statesboro, Georgia on July 16th and be part of our showcase where we can help these girls from this region get to that next level. So, and there's different sports, and hopefully people in our profession, you do have some kind of relationship or bond with your local government, your county, either your city manager, county manager, your city councilman, or your county commissioners, that you're able to have that talk with these guys about, hey, this is what we see coming. We want to be the leader. We want to be out in the forefront to make sure we're able to provide services for the people in your community, because that's what people want. They want service. We're in that service community to provide that for everybody. So that's the biggest thing, is recognizing what's coming and being able to put together a plan and adapt that plan as you go along to make everything successful.
One of the things that's important in business is document shredding. And another of our sponsors is the Shred Shed. Mike and Connie Gurley provide professional document shredding, and they always do so at an affordable price. They are also mobile and can come to you. You can reach them at 938-2520, or you can contact them on their Facebook page. Thanks to Mike and Connie Gurley and the Shred Shed for being an official sponsor of the Integrity Sports Podcast. D, in Bulloch County, you guys have one of the premier youth sports complexes in the state of Georgia, there with Mill Creek. And I know that last summer you hosted several GRPA state tournaments. You have another one this summer. What does it mean to Bulloch County to be able to host these types of events at that complex there?
Well, I think for Bulloch County, it's just a chance to show off Bulloch County. We have the thing, Bulloch Beautiful. And I had a meeting with some coaches the other night that kept saying Borough Built. Mill Creek is simple word is beautiful.
Yeah.
We've been blessed with a phenomenal maintenance staff. Tony Morgan and Ken Pettigene and those guys, they do a fantastic job of upkeep of not just Mill Creek, but other county facilities that we have here in Bulloch County. And we did last year, we had the 8 and under, 10 and under, and the 12 and under boys Class AB state tournaments. And this year we're going to have the 12 and under girls and 12 and under boys Class AB state tournaments here. And we'll be showing the 12 and under girls on Jot Jive. And so we're looking forward to being able to showcase what we have here in the Southeast Georgia.
Do you get to work with one of the legends in our business every day, and Eddie Cannon, who is the executive director there for Bulloch County Rec? Tell me a little bit about what it's been like to work with Eddie on a daily basis. And really, he's a guy that prepares all of his employees for the next level of success.
Well, I love Eddie. I'm gonna start off with that. I love me some Eddie Cannon. He is a great man. We have a great relationship, and I pick on him all the time, talking about he's such a little man, but he has a Herculean mindset.
He really does.
He's the way his mind goes and turns, and the way he can analyze one situation and put his spin on it, and all of a sudden you have 3 or 4 different branches that are coming off of it to get back to one. It amazes me just how he does that. And every day, I'm blessed every day to walk by his office, and he probably gets aggravated me because I'm always going to ask the question because I want to learn. Now, it's kind of like what you and I both coach baseball, and the one thing, you never stop learning. And so
you're exactly right.
Once you think you got it all solved, that's when you start having problems. And I don't ever want to stop learning. But Eddie's mindset is there's a word that we use here now that we probably use more than I can say in my 45 years on this earth is vision. He's opened up our eyes to a different way of looking at things, and we're able to kind of have some of our traditions, and then, as we say, get that Eddie Cannon mix, put it with some of our traditions, and do something grand. So, and I tell people all the time, you just sit down and talk with him. You can call him on the phone. You can come to his office. You see him out anywhere in public. He is going to talk to you. He's not somebody who, like, we use the word legends, and sometimes legends aren't approachable. His door and ears and handshake is always open for anybody. So we're truly blessed to have Eddie Cannon leading us here at Bulloch County.
Hey, here's another neat thing about this program, D. WMNZ AM 1050, which is a radio station in Montezuma, Georgia, in neighboring Macon County. They take the audio off of this program every week and play it on their radio station. So we want to thank Lance Teal and his staff that produce that every week, and want to thank the listeners of WMNZ AM 1050. Every successful professional has people behind the scenes who have supported them. That may be family, it may be friends, it may be coworkers. I'd be interested to know from you, who are some of those people that have kind of encouraged you and lifted you up and helped you along the way in your professional career?
Man, that can be a Chinese scroll if we would sit there and throw some things out here. But no, I do. You're one of somebody I consider a good friend. Anybody I can pick up that phone call. And that's one of the things I tell some of these kids when we try to mentor the kids through the program. Don't always throw that friend word around. A friend is somebody you can call at 2:00 in the morning. They're not going to get mad that you woke them up. They're going to sit there and they're going to talk to you for a second. So, I got, there's people like you, Dietrich Stanford, Spook Spivey, all those guys who we've talked to. One of the guys, he passed away here a few years ago, was Danny Jones.
Yeah.
Even when I was a youngin' coming through at the conference, he stopped and he took time every conference to sit down with me at a table, and I was able to ask him questions. He asked me questions, and we just had a talk. And sometimes it could have been 10 minutes. There were times where we sat there for over an hour. I was just picking his brain on the direction that I wanted to go, and what he saw for me and things that he saw that I can do better. Three of my closest friends and other closest friends in GRPA is Trevor Welcher. He's a director over there in Thompson.
Yeah, good young professional. Right.
Bill Waters there in Baldwin County, and then Ray Rollins there in Tucker.
Yeah.
Those are my, as we say, those are my dogs.
Yeah.
We all talk, and we have group texts, and if not every other day, sometimes it couldn't be every day that we all sit there and shoot out texts and have some kind of dialogue. And we go on trips and weekend trips and things like that with the fellas. So, I've been truly blessed in this field, and especially the people here that I work with. In athletics, we call this back at athletic, we call it the dog pound. So those are my dog pound guys. Those are two things that I take from this, that with the friendships that you're able to bounce off. And then, as you said, my mom. My mom, she's the queen. We've been through a lot with our family over the last 20 years, and she keeps the faith, and she's that typical mother. When you call and you're upset, you're mad, or you need something, first thing she's going to say, well, did you pray about it? Yeah. That's some of that old Mississippi where she's from. Did you pray about it? That's the first thing she's going to say. So, those are just some of the things. And I'm a very private person, but I'll tell everybody the reason I do what I do is for my 9-year-old niece.
Yeah.
Elise, I want her to have every opportunity that she can have either in athletics or whatever field she wants to go into. I want to make sure that I leave a mark to where she can just take off and just run with it. And that's the true reason why I keep doing what I do. And lastly, when my dad died, there's one little phrase that he had, and he used to say it to me. And when I was younger, I was like, okay, yeah, whatever. And now you get older, but it was a saying that he had was, "May the work I do speak for me." Yeah. And that's something that I truly try to live by. I don't care what comes out my mouth. I want people to recognize my actions and how I am in the community and in the office.
D, that's awesome. It's been a pleasure to have you on today. And you know this, but I very much value your friendship and have the utmost respect for what you do. Our show here focuses on sports professionals. Sometimes we interview student athletes, but the main thing is people that do what they do with integrity. And there's no doubt that you've done that throughout your career there at Bulloch County. And I hope you'll come back and be with us again in the future.
Man, I look forward to it. This has been awesome.
Thank you for making the Integrity Sports Podcast, powered by Harper's Tree and Stump Removal, a part of your weekly routine. If you're watching this today on Facebook, please hit the like button and share this video with your friends. That's how we build viewership. We're also trying to build our YouTube presence, and it's very important to us that you hit the subscribe button. We're trying to get to that 1,000 subscriber mark. D, we're having about 1,500 viewers per week, so this thing's really growing and taking legs, and we appreciate you being a part of that. But for Dadrian Cosby, I'm Tim Estes. Thanks for watching. So long, everybody.